Hello.
Hello.
It's been a few days, like 4 days. And I think our last update, well, I know our last update was in Jakarta. And we're now firmly settled in Cipagante, which is a tiny little village about 5 hours south of Jakarta.
And what did we do in Jakarta? So it was absolutely boiling, and I've never been anywhere quite like it. It was so busy, wasn't it?
Just phenomenally busy.
There was no air. It was very much hot city. So I'm kind of glad we're only there for a day. So we sort of sheltered in a shopping mall, didn't we? Which had all the Western shops.
Oh, and we went to the museum. We went to the National
and we
Museum.
went to the museum.
The National Museum was fantastic.
We went to an amazing croissant place.
I didn't take any photos of the croissants. And then that evening we got picked up and we took a taxi, well not a taxi, we took a driver from Jakarta to Cipagante, and we arrived in the early hours of the morning. Cipagante is on the side of this mountain and to the west is a volcano, an active volcano. But the village itself is comprised up of lots of little tiny farms that are farming everything from cabbage and carrots to coffee and
a lot of rice.
A lot of rice. The village is incredibly densely populated, and we're in quite a conservative area. So that's been a bit of an adjustment. Yeah, you're under each other's feet a lot, and we're getting a lot of attention as white, tall and blonde. Which of course I love.
I think we just took selfies with about 5 people.
Yeah.
Consecutively. But I mean, we're just rolling with it.
Yeah. Day 1 was kind of an orientation. So we walked around the village and we met a local coffee farmer.
We learned all about the whole process of processing the coffee, which I knew nothing about, which was really, really interesting. And he's just so knowledgeable. Yeah. And then we drank the coffee.
We're going to do one of the videos we're going to do with LFP is about the coffee projects from beginning to end, but also how the LFP have kind of played a part in
wildlife-friendly coffee.
God, we are like Ant and Dec, aren't we?
But I can see you struggling with it.
And then that evening we went out for our first slow loris track. That's the one.
Looking for a specific one.
And we saw it. In fact, we saw 2, 3 in one night from quite far away. And certainly one of the things that we hadn't established was how little space we've got, because we're walking along in these tiny narrow tracks between farmland. So trying to set up a tripod and a gimbal and get lighting on it, and that you've got to film them under red light, so you've got to have a constant torch light on them. It was hard, wasn't it?
It was really tricky. Yeah, I think the space thing, there was a lot of things we anticipated being hard, like the fact that they're nocturnal, like the fact they're elusive, things being in the way of them, leaves and branches and stuff. We just did not think about the fact that we would be in a plant trying to set up a tripod and then move a tripod when it moves. So.
And then the next day we focused on another project that the LFP is doing, which is the civet trapping and monitoring. So the civet is like a small mammal about the size of a cat or a dog that lives...
Maybe you could put a picture up.
Maybe I could put a picture up.
Here it is.
They are the animal that eats the coffee beans that produces...
Kopi
Luwak, which we didn't know a huge amount.
No, I mean, we'd sort of seen it in media and thought, oh, that sounds quite interesting. Maybe that's something that we could try. And what we've learned since being here is that it's actually incredibly unethical. Maybe we should explain what it is, if people don't know.
Yes. So Kopi Luwak is a partially digested bean that goes through the civet poops it out, the beans are harvested and then dried out, and they make them into a coffee.
Civet poop coffee.
Civet poop coffee, but what started off as very sustainable, farmers would just collect civet poo while they were doing their rounds, has now kind of evolved into caged animals being force-fed coffee beans, coffee cherries, which is obviously pretty horrific. So the LFP is trying to do a project which is monitoring, a bit like what they're doing with the slow lorises, but they're monitoring these civets to work out, population dynamics and movements and just how they integrate with the environment around here. So that's really exciting. Hello, Future Will here. I'm currently editing the footage, and it's turning out that it's actually quite long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this bit where we've got up to and we've dealt with the civets, and then I'm going to polish off the other stuff to do with the slow lorises, which is a very exciting story but is a bit long-winded. So thanks for watching up to here, and stand by for the next video very, very soon. Bye.